Hey guys, welcome back. And in our last video, we spoke about creating custom exceptions. Yeah, or you can say user-defined exceptions. In this video, let me cover this topic a bit in more detail for you to understand it in a much better way. Yeah. So when I'm talking about user-defined exceptions in Python, as I said, these are custom errors classes that you create to handle a specific error condition, which is out of the uh, out of the entire built-in functions that we have. Now, usually there are three important reasons why we have user-defined exceptions. First of all, we need to get more clarity, which provides specific error that make it clear what is went wrong, what had got wrong in the program. Get more granularity on handling a particular error, yeah, and maintainability. Now, they centralize error handling logic, making your code easier to maintain. Yeah. So clarity, that's more important. Get a granular understanding on what has gone wrong and easier way or a very sophisticated way to maintain this entire error handling logic. Now there are four steps towards creating a user-defined exception. First is to define the exception class. Second is to initialize the exception. Third is to optionally override it. Yeah. So these are the three steps that are involved. And then we'll see how to raise a user-defined exception or handle a user-defined exception. Yeah. So let's start with trying to understand step by step how we create a user-defined function or user-defined exception. So next on how to create a user defined exception. Yeah. So our first step is to define the, let me take it in a different box altogether. First step that we need to create is define the exception class. Yeah. So here what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a new class that inherits from a building exception. Yeah. Or any other appropriate subclass. So this new class will serve as your custom exception. So what we do in this is so what we are trying to do in defining an exception class is we are just trying to create a my user, I say my user defined error. Okay. And I'll pass it as an exception. So I need to give an exception to it. Yeah. And I'll just say pass. So it will move on to the next. So this is a simple way of defining a class for your exception. Then the next step comes is initialize the exception. When I'm saying initialize the exception is implementing the init method to initialize all the attributes that are involved in this class. So how do we do that? We have seen that as we have seen it for our age class that we did. So we can see here, where is it? Age. Okay, so this is what we did for our age class. If you remember, invalid age as an exception. Yeah. So I have defined an init function, which defines the attributes. This is self. That these are the two attributes. So age and message are the two attributes which are being defined to this class as an initializer. Yeah. So this is how we have defined the class. Yeah. This is called initialization. So attributes defined attributes such as age and message that is available in this. Yeah. So here attributes is the age. Then we have the initializations. Then we have the default message that has been provided. Okay. So we have the attributes. So these are the attributes, age and message. We have the initialization definition, which will init or will see that ensure that the exception class has been properly initiated with the error message and a default message that has been printed. Yeah. You can also optionally override. Yeah. Optionally override with str or rep method. Yeah. Now override the str or rep method is to provide a custom string representation of the exception. This is useful for printing or logging the exception. We'll see what is logging in our next videos, but you need to understand this particular two methods are being used full for printing or logging the exception. So that is to maintain the logs. Yeah. So if I have to put this about same thing which is above this particular class, along with it, I will give another method or definition which or the function that would be def str, which will call self and return self dot age and self dot message. Yeah. So it is just to log the particular methods. Yeah. So str method returns a string representation of the exception. Yeah. This is what will be displayed when exception is printed. Yeah. And custom message, customize the message to include relevant information such as age, which is provided in this example. Yeah. So you need to remember this. Okay. So the str method that we are running here returns a string representation of the exception, and this is what will be displayed when the exception is printed. Now, how do we raise the user defined exceptions? So I should be able to raise this. Now we have created it. The next step is to raise user defined exception. Huh? So we have seen raise. So once you have defined a custom exception, you can raise it in your code to signify specific error condition. Since this is not a built-in exception which I can directly print to exception step or exception block, I need to raise it. So raising user-defined exception involves using the raise statement, which can be done with or without custom messages or attributes. Yeah, we know how to raise an exception. We'll directly jump on to an example. So suppose I have this age. Yeah, and I'm trying to check the age. So if age is less than 18 or age is greater, raise as invalid age. So it will give me print as age is set to is valid as inputted if it is between 18 and 100, and if it is not, it will give me an error. Let me put the age as 120. Okay. Incomplete. Check age. Invalid age, and it will print the age as E. So it will give me age is not within the specified range. So this is how I'm raising an user-defined exception. Yeah. So the syntax for this particular thing is, as we know, that the syntax is raise, then we have the exception type, and then you have the argument. Yeah. So this is how you raise an exception. Yeah, this is what we have done here. Okay, age is an argument or the parameter that we have passed on to this. Now we have created a user-defined function. We understood how to raise it. Now let's understand how to handle user-defined exceptions. So let's understand handling user exceptions. So handling user-defined exceptions in Python refers to using the try except statement to handle all these exceptions. So what that is what we did in the above code. Yeah. So using this try and except statement is what we have done in the. So this is how we handle the exceptions using an except. Yeah. So in the below example that I have shown, so the try block calls the age, check age function with an invalid age, which is 120, which is out of this range that has been specified. Now the except block catches the invalid age and prints the custom error. Yeah. Since it is an exception, it takes this error and prints it here. So the output of this error is age is age is invalid. Yeah. So that is what the output that we are getting as of now. Yeah. So I can say age is not within the specified range. Okay. So let me take you through the complete code now. So what we have done is, let us run through the complete code. Text. We combine all the steps. How it will look like, how the user defined function look like. Yeah. So let me take you through the complete code. So first what we did is we defined this error. So we have defined the invalid exception. Yes. So this was our code. Then we set or checked the age. Yeah. So this is how we handled it by raising the error. And then we try to run it with a try except block. Yeah. And we'll print age not within specified range. Yeah. So that's it. So let's run this. So you say age not within specified range. So we got the error because this error got triggered. If we had the age to be around 50, which is within 18 and 120. So let me write the exact age or the right age. Yeah. See, age is valid as inputted, which is 50. Yeah. So this is how you define a user-defined function. So you create an entire map. So you create the function plus, then you have this str to towards have an optional override. Yeah. Then we raise the user-defined function. Then we handle this user-defined function through try and except block. Pretty simple. I'll repeat it once again. We created the block. We had an override, optionally override thing. Even if I don't put it, the function will still run. Yeah. So let me show you that. So I'll just remove this and try to run this function directly. You still get this age. Yeah. So you have this optional override. I'm just keeping it as it is. You need this. Then we raise the user defined function or exception. Then we handle the exception using the try except block. So this is how you handle exceptions or user defined exceptions through various method and in a step-by-step manner. Hope you understood the concept behind this. Hope you like this video. Uh, do like it, share it across with your friends who want to learn Python. Do comment if you have any views or feedback or any kind of inputs on the given video. which will help my learners or viewers to gain more knowledge. And definitely do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you like to get such informative videos directly to your inbox. Thank you so much.